Greetings and welcome to the Beers and Bodyslams podcast. Sitting in front of me, the man who earned his PhD in pay-per-view this weekend, Mr. Fluffy.
And sitting across from me, he is the coach with the most, good old JB.
Ladies and gentlemen.
And I'm not talking about Coachman.
Yeah.
I miss Coachman sometimes.
Well, he's left ESPN. He may be on his way back.
Yeah, there's a possibility.
Who knows? As you can hear, it's just the two of us once again this week.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, Irish will not be joining us this week. He will be back next week, and we'll be back to full strength.
For the beginning of the year.
Yes. We've got a pay-per-view to talk about. We got a average Raw and Smackdown, I would say.
Average, but better than I expected this time of year.
Yeah. We had a wonderful beer that we're going to talk about, and we got a couple topics in the news we'll discuss when we come back.
Awesome!
This is the Beers and Bodyslams podcast
I'm afraid I've got some bad news.
with your host, Mr. Fluffy,
Hello, ladies.
good old JB,
Booty-O's! They make sure you ain't booty.
and the Irish O'Leary.
There's only one word to describe you, and I'm gonna spell it out for you. A-A-W-S-T!
This is the only podcast bringing you craft beer and pro wrestling that really matters.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, E-Generation X proudly brings to you its WWF Tag Team Champion of the World, the Road Dogg Jesse James, the Badass Billy Gunn, the new.
And that's the bottom line, the Stone Cold said so.
All right, Fluffy, tell the good folks what we're drinking today.
We are drinking from a brewery that is quickly becoming a brewery I'm going to more often, and I want to go check out the brewery itself. Big Top Brewing Company out of Sarasota, Florida. This is Decklin's Indulgence. It is a chocolate peanut butter brown ale.
It is a Reese's peanut butter cup.
Yeah, and unlike a stout, it's not heavy.
It is one of the few beers I've actually rated over a 4 on our favorite app that we use, Untapped app. It is really good.
Yeah.
And usually peanut butter and chocolate, like you said, it can be heavy.
Well, especially because most people do it in a stout and a
very
porter.
rich or heavy, and it's not that.
No.
You get obviously you get the peanut butter forward and then the chocolate on the back end, but it's really good.
And the brown ale adds a little bitterness to it, which I think offsets some of the sweetness.
It's dark like a stout.
Yeah, it's a dark brown. It really is dark. You came and see through.
No, yeah, it looks like a stout or a porter, but it's really good.
It's another one of those good dessert beers. Like you wouldn't have it with like a meal.
No.
But if like having ice cream or cake or something like that, this would be really good with like vanilla cake.
Yeah.
Like a good yellow cake or something like that. That would be really, really good.
One and done, but it definitely.
Yeah, I think it's only it's 6%.
It's not strong, but it's
No.
You taste like you don't want to drink a lot of that.
Oh God, no!
Peanut butter chocolate taste. It would wear thin really quickly, but one solid glass is really good.
Yeah, it's really good. I've had a couple of the Big Top Brewing Company's beers out of Sarasota.
I've never been to there.
Yeah, I haven't been there, and I kind of want to go because I want to see. I think we've had a couple on the show. I've had elsewhere. I've had some, and they're younger. They haven't been around very long. And obviously, they're based off the circus, which Sarasota is the home of Ringling Brothers.
Yes.
So that's where their connection comes in. So I don't know if there's I should probably research into it. I don't know if there's some connection between them and the circus in some way.
Climbing up the charts, for sure.
But Decklin Indulgence, definitely check it out if you're in Florida. And you can always tell a brewery that's still getting going because their cans, they're buying generic cans, and the label is heat sealed around it, which is not printed on the can, which is great that breweries can now do that and get away with it. So I love it a lot. So thank you so much, guys, for allowing us to drink your beer.
Good stuff.
All right, so let's talk about the pay-per-view first, then we'll do some news, and then we'll talk about Smackdown and Smackdown. All right, so we had Clash of Champions this weekend.
Yes.
Good old JB and Irish both went 5-2, which makes the pay-per-view very predictable.
A respectable 5-2. 5-2. I say.
That's right. And I made history.
Yes, he was
by going
the first.
7-0.
Yes.
I do not want to show up but I have it on lockdown.
I have I take that back. I have the second shortest title reign.
Yeah, that's right.
Irish has that distinction, but
yeah,
that was a fast, and the winter has definitely not come for me. So
I don't know if I'm proud of the fact I went 7-0 because it was so predictable. And I'm not going to go into. I mean, the pay-per-view was good. We'll talk about more of the ramifications when we get to Smackdown and stuff like that. But I will say,
I don't. I mean, it was. I wouldn't say it was. I don't think anybody saw Ziggler coming.
No, and that I don't think anybody at all, because I'm the only one who picked him. You both went with Baron to retain,
and I'm interested to see, based on that, where they go with Corbin. Is he the next challenger for AJ? Is that why they took the belt off of him?
Could be,
because I don't see really anybody else over there just filling that spot.
Yeah, they might. I could see that.
And when I picked it, obviously I wasn't thinking about that scenario, but
yeah.
And then the way that we'll talk about it more, but the way that what happened with Dolph on SmackDown,
when he walked
after
out.
winning the title,
yeah,
it's weird.
And it was a repercussion. We'll talk about quitting. We'll talk about the women's match. The women's match itself was decent. I like the Lumberjills fighting each other to beat up Charlotte at one point. Because one point you had the heels and the Riot Squad fighting each other for the right to beat up Charlotte.
Yeah.
We almost had a cash-in.
Which I thought it was going to happen.
She came really close.
I thought it was going to happen.
She had the briefcase, then she got attacked from behind.
Yeah, I thought it was going to happen.
But then Natty quit at the end when she was like, you don't deserve me, and walked out. And she was not on SmackDown this week.
No.
So she's, I'm assuming, taking some time off, but she sounded like she was walking
weird though.
too.
You had that twice on one show.
Yeah, it was weird. Well,
with two people on one brand doing that.
The other big moment was the tag team match, and I'm going to say, okay, there were some really nice high spots.
Yeah, always.
It was great. It was too many guys in the ring, though. I'm sorry. When you have four guys in the ring, it was very clunky. Because what happened is what always happens in matches like this, in that you have all four guys start, and then two of the guys get knocked out and roll outside the ring, with the other two do a high spot. And then the other two come back and do a high spot. Well, the problem with this match is every time they would do a high spot, then they would tag their partners, and they would do a high spot, then they would tag their other, and it was just like, okay, it's too much.
It was a throw in. Like we can't put you in a singles feud, so we just put you all together.
Yeah,
but it's crazy that this Rusev thing is over.
Yeah, it's huge, and they had a pop.
Yeah, I'm like, how is this getting over?
And the Usos won. It was an impressive win by the Usos. The Usos really pulled it out.
They're looking good. I'm assuming coming up we're gonna have our end of the year awards shows.
Yep. It's coming next week.
One of the
Brewskis.
One of the best runs. In the tag team division that I've seen in a while is the Usos.
Oh, the change.
How they remade themselves, and this was a perfect gimmick for them.
I will say this with the Usos. I was not a big fan of this gimmick, and I've told you guys that. We talked about the shows. But since they have toned it back a little bit, and they have gotten, I don't want to say less street, but they've definitely toned it down so it's not as in your face.
Yeah.
And it's more subtle. And now I don't feel like it's them going, look at us, we're street. Now it's, no, we're just tough guys. We're going to prove ourselves. We've got this already.
I just think it's them. Like, I don't even think it's them. This, like, I feel like this is who they are.
Well, it's that
the toned down version. Yeah. I feel like that's who they are in real life.
It's that Samoan attitude. Yeah. They've got it in spades.
Exactly.
They're doing what Roman should be doing. That's that. So.
He's kind of headed that way.
Yeah. And then AJ and Jinder put on a great match. We knew AJ was going to win. And then that was the main event. And then the big match was obviously the KO, Sami Zayn, Randy Orton, Shinsuke. The match itself was okay. It became more
about
Shane versus Daniel.
Which is what it's not the opposite of what it's supposed to be.
And there was some weird counts.
Yeah.
And we'll talk about when we get to SmackDown. What we will talk about more when we get to SmackDown, what Shane said. Yeah. But overall, I would give it a solid 6 for a pay-per-view out of 10. For a December pay-per-view, I really thought it was better than I thought it was going to be. I expected it to be a 4. Like, I really did. And I thought it was
4. That's a...
Because you know why? Because sometimes at the end of the year, the guys don't care as much at the end of the year. They're thinking of other things. And especially when you have the forced title change, everything's on the line.
Yeah.
I expected less, and I was happily surprised.
It was a solid show. I've seen, people give it a 7, 8.
Yeah.
So it definitely exceeded expectations, which is all you can ask for this time of year.
You know,
the first of the year. When is the 25th anniversary show? Coming up.
Yeah, it's coming up. Yeah, a couple weeks.
So that'll be when the ball,
and then the end of January is the Rumble.
That'll be your road to WrestleMania starting point. Would be that 25th anniversary show. And then you'll see a kick in the high gear.
Yeah. So, all right. So on to some news before we get going into the shows. And some of the news affects the shows, but we want to talk about it anyways. I want to talk about Dean Ambrose real fast.
Yes.
He was injured in the match, but he was clearly injured going into that match. Like you watched that match. I even watched it, was going, why is he in this match? Like he was clearly in pain. And this was a write-off match for him.
Yeah.
He successfully had surgery on Tuesday.
Elbow surgery.
And now the WWE is saying we're not sure how long he's going to be out. Internet scuttlebutt is 6 months.
I think that's the worst case.
Yeah, I'm hoping.
I don't see him making Mania.
No, God, no.
So that's unfortunate for him.
SummerSlam would be more the target date. It sucks though because the Shield was
Money
really
in the Bank
looking
or something like that.
Yeah, the Shield was really looking good.
Yeah. The question is now, where does Seth go? He's going to be the one floundering until he gets back, because Roman's is going to be in the main event picture one way or another. So where does that leave Seth?
Well, I think it leaves Seth, and the other problem is it leaves the bar with no challenger, no viable challenger right now. And now there's teams on there that could do it, but as of right now, there's no other team that they've built up to the point that could take on.
I'd like to see them flip the club face.
Okay.
And just give them something. You know what I mean? Like, take the comedy out, but flip them face, have them. They have similar styles.
We just had the Revival come back too.
But they're heel. They want face to bar.
Unless we turn the bar.
No. What they're doing is actually working for them.
Yeah.
So, the club needs something.
Yeah.
They need a jolt. You know what I mean? God forbid they throw Finn in there and put something together. But that's the only team I can really see that could be a viable challenger for them.
The other news, rumors out there of some new talent coming to NXT next year. Which obviously they moved a bunch of people up. And the big names that I've heard are War Machine from ROH, which is a huge team. And one of the guys from War Machine are dating Ruby Riott. So that's part of the connection. And then Ricochet is the other one. It's a huge name. And all I think is I've seen a few Ricochet matches online is him versus like an Adam Cole or, oh my God, that'd be crazy.
It's good. NXT, man, like I said, you're going to see a lot of indie talent coming back, coming over there because that's the new hot brand right now.
And it allows them to develop.
It has kind of an indie feel to it, to be honest with you, the way that it's produced and the way it's run.
It's a small building. Yeah, it really is a small building.
So it kind of has the indie feel to it, which I think, it gives the indie guys a chance to adapt to the WWE style, but it also still gives them that feel, that intimate feel of an indie scene.
Well, that, and I know like Finn's talked about it and KO's talked about it, and even AJ wishes he went there for a while, but they said, it's not learning wrestling, exactly what you're saying. It's learning the W style. It's learning how they place cameras. What they say when a producer says, we want this and this.
Yeah.
The rest of the group knows. If you're the new guy, you go, whereas in NXT, they're teaching them.
Yeah.
This is how we block. And every person that's come through NXT has said the same thing. Every indie guy that's come through, whether they've stayed or not.
Yeah.
That the WWE does it differently than every other company, different than ROH, New Japan. Even these are shows, and these are companies that have major TV shows that produce. Even TNA and Impact
not on that level.
But not on that level and not the way they do it. They have perfected a system that works. The other weird story that came out this week, and it pops up every so often, is that Vince would be open to selling the WWE.
I've never seen it until recently, but I think a lot of that came from with the UFC.
Yeah,
they're trying to. I won't say they're trying to mirror them, but they're trying to follow that business model. And the UFC just sold for $4 billion. WWE's valued at roughly $1.5 million.
Yeah, and that's the thing is, I think if Vince were to sell it, he'd want like $100 million. Like he would not be
$100 million
or $1 billion. I mean, yeah, he'd want $1 billion. I mean,
He'd try and get 2.
Yeah.
If they value it at 1.5, he'd probably try and get 2. But at the end of the day, you would think that Stephanie, would want to
they're not going to
have
sell.
a stake in that.
Yeah, they're not going to sell.
But it's just interesting that it would even be open to that idea at this point.
This is what I think is going to. This is what I think them going public was always a mistake.
Yeah.
What I would like to see happen personally is I would like to see somebody come in who's not going to buy the company, but maybe set it up so that they just buy all their stock back. In other words, not be public anymore.
Yeah.
Pull off of that. Somebody who can come in and whether it's a network like a Comcast or something like that wants to commit like as USA or something like that, or somebody else who wants to take them in, and say, okay, fine. You own 51%. We own 49.
Yeah.
We buy all the stock back. We take the company private again, and we don't worry about this stuff. And I think that would not be a bad thing if they were owned by an entertainment entity.
Yeah.
Because then you could wrap up. Because now the thing is
about a TV deal.
Well, TV deal, and also they have gotten really good at producing these dumb little movies. As much as we make fun of Miz producing the Marine 6, it's not going to go to theaters, but it makes a crapload on DVD.
Pitch it to Disney.
But I'm saying is they make money.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
These movies, these goofy movies.
Pitch it to Disney.
Yeah,
if you're going to sell it to somebody like Disney.
Yeah.
That has their own networks.
Yeah.
It's a family friendly show now.
Oh yeah.
So that would be if someone was willing to buy it, I would try and pitch it to Disney.
Yeah, but there's so many opportunities out there. So we'll see. But I think it's if you read the interview, it's one of those things where somebody said, "Would you be open to sell?" And he kind of went, "Yeah." And he never gave any indication that there's actually an active
He may be
person.
doing it to try and drive the price and the value of his business up too.
And he also might be doing. And now the other rumor, as part of that is he may want to redo the XFL again too.
Yeah, good luck with that.
Yeah, we'll see that. So, all right. So on to Raw. So we open the show up with Kurt Angle coming out.
Yep.
And then we get Kane and Strowman. And we get Lesnar. And we get, and God, Heyman's so good on the mic. It makes me sad when he comes out how little we get of Heyman.
This man says, ladies and gentlemen, and the place goes crazy.
Oh, yeah.
Imagine that.
Yeah. I just want him every week. I want Lesnar. I don't want Lesnar gone, but I want him torn away from Lesnar. No, I want Lesnar gone because Lesnar doesn't want to be there. I mean, that's the point. Lesnar, his paycheck. But wouldn't you like to see Heyman every week? Wouldn't you love?
Oh, I've said that on record. For 6 months, I wanted him to. It's too much talent there for him not to be on the air every week.
Yeah,
he's the best promo guy in the business, and it's not even close.
Yeah.
Why would you not utilize his talent and use that to get somebody else over?
Oh, it's huge.
Hopefully, when Lesnar leaves, then they'll figure out what to do with him.
So we're gonna get at the Royal Rumble. We're gonna get a match I don't know how to feel about. We're gonna get Kane, Strowman, and Lesnar for the Universal title.
We know this is just a glorified Falls Count Anywhere. They got to make it a special attraction.
This is what's going to happen. It's going to be Lesnar pinning Kane.
Of course.
Because they don't want him to beat Strowman. They don't want to kill Strowman again. So they're going to have Lesnar beat Kane and have Strowman be the odd man out.
Oh, yeah, of course. I mean, why would Strowman lose? Yeah. They can't make him look weak going into Mania.
Or either they pull the shocker and put the belt on Strowman, but he's going to pin Kane, not Lesnar, and lead that into the next rivalry of Lesnar going, well, I wasn't even beaten for the title. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but Kane's getting pinned no matter what. At the end of that match, it's Kane that's getting the 1, 2, 3 pin on him. Whether it's Strowman being the shocker and winning or Lesnar F5ing him through the mat.
Wouldn't that be some ish if Strowman pulled the upset at the Rumble?
But again, if he beats Kane, it gives Lesnar that immediate, well, you didn't beat me, you beat Kane, idea. You didn't pin me.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's always a triple threat.
Yeah.
The top champion that has a disadvantage because he doesn't have to lose, he or she doesn't have to lose their titles.
Yeah. So It'll be interesting to see. I mean, we've got a month or so till the Rumble, so we'll see where it builds up from there. And there's other things to talk about the Rumble. We'll talk about the end of Raw that I'm excited about. So
yes, I have a prediction.
Yeah. So next up, we had Seth Rollins, quote unquote, versus Samoa Joe.
Yeah.
And the new whiny little brat of Raw.
Yeah.
Comes out and goes, I want to match too. I'm Kurt Angle's son, and I want to match too.
He's playing it perfectly.
Oh, my God. He has got nuclear heat.
He's playing it perfectly.
When his music plays and you hear the crowd go from, they were cheering Seth Rollins, yay! And then his music came out and you heard the entire crowd go, oh, you son of a bitch. Because everybody knew it was Seth versus Joe, and we knew it was about they ruined.
Yeah, I'd say he's gonna be over as a good heel. He has good his facial expressions are pretty funny.
Oh my God,
they're funny as hell. Like I said, in the ring, like he's really good in the ring. He puts on some good matches.
Oh yeah, no, and in the match we'll talk about next is him versus Seth when Joe changed. Somebody's been working with Joe. Because Joe's mic skills.
Oh my God!
In the last, and Joe was always. I liked Joe before. But he was always very dry.
He's like that was my knock on him. Can he become entertaining?
Oh, he has got entertaining.
And this is what I was questioning when he was brought up, because it was kind of one note, like I told you guys, and it was like very monotone.
Yep.
And I was like, and then he said something. I can't even remember what he said Monday, but it had me just dying.
Oh,
laughing.
when he was like, I got an idea. You two fight. And then you can take me on later.
Which one I put to sleep. Or
yeah,
something.
but it's like he is just on it. And then him sitting ringside while Jordan takes on Seth,
taunting them.
I will say this, and we talked about that. Jason Jordan's getting better. That was the best match I've ever seen Jason Jordan put on. Period. He pushed Seth Rollins.
He's very aggressive.
He was very aggressive. Yeah. And there was points in it where you could see, like Seth was being said, Seth's awesome. And I'm not going to say Seth was playing with him at a point, but there was a point where you're like, holy crap, he's really beating the crap out of Seth Rollins. And you really believed for a moment that Seth had to take a break because he just kept coming at him and coming at him and coming at him.
I tell you what, I love the suplex, the Northern Lights, whatever they call it, when he rolls back.
Mm-hmm.
That's very impressive.
Yeah. And then, Seth throws Jordan into Joe.
Yeah.
And then Seth super kicks Joe.
Yeah. Smell triple threat.
Yeah. And then, Seth picks up the win, but it was a great match. I mean, it really was. It was better than I thought it was going to be because I figured it was going to end in a schmozzy sort of weird entrance. But I'll tell you right now, if we're going to see, whether it's at the Rumble or before then, Jordan versus Seth versus Joe, I'm not upset. I think
you'll see it before the Rumble.
That's going to be a really good triple threat.
Yeah.
That's the kind of match you have to determine who goes into the Rumble.
No, you need all three of them.
Not necessarily.
I think you do.
Depending who we go with. We'll see.
They're rising too high not to have them in the Rumble.
Oh, we had another weird, I'm not even going to get into the Braid Hardy thing. I'm not talking about it. I'm racing that note. We're done with that right now. I'm already over it. I'm totally over it already.
Oh, you're bailing on the Woken.
No, I'm not bailing on Woken. I'm not on board. I can't. I'm not bailing on Woken. I don't want to see that. I want them in ring. I don't want this. This is just weird not having them there. This whole video package thing, I'm over it already.
Yeah, what is this leading towards?
Exactly. And that's my problem. All right. We are going to get into this. Okay. So we were going to have a handicap match. The Miz Taraj, because they got to do something because they're paying them. We're going to take on Finn Balor. I will say this. They did put a nice little fight on Finn, and then Itami made his save. Now, we knew Itami was coming because they'd been putting him to 205. They had him come out on Raw, and I really think that was to get to highlight him. Yeah. Exactly.
Well, here's my question. After the Miz left, wasn't Elias with the Miz Taraj?
For a week, and now the Miz Taraj are off by themselves again.
We just forgot about that all of a sudden.
Yeah,
he was supposed to lead them and guide them. He said,
"Well, Elias don't need him though."
No, he doesn't. But why go down that road?
I have no idea.
I don't understand what they're doing.
But the tag team match that came next made me realize, and I'm not saying they realize it. Itami should not be on 205. Hideo Itami should be on the main roster.
I mean, you could have said that about Neville. But
he should not.
They're still looking for his replacement.
205. And again,
I think he's going back to Japan. So this is like, okay, well, while you're here, this is how we're going to use you type of deal.
Could be.
Because he never really reached his potential in NXT. So I kind of think like he's kind of like wanting out to go back.
He got injured.
He was getting in the middle of the push too, I think.
Yeah, he was in the middle of the hood. And that was the KO storyline that KO injured him. But even when he came back from injury, he hadn't been 100%. Yeah. So I'm hoping that he does good on 205. But he just looks so good. And actually, he was a really good team with Finn Balor. Yeah. Like, that was not a bad team. Yeah. And again, I
wouldn't be surprised if Vince put him in the
you want together. You want to see a tag team to take on the Bar? Finn Balor and Tommy are actually a really good tag team because it's opposite. Again, you have opposite styles. You have the bash him and beat him attitude of the Bar versus the high flyer, quick attack of Finn and Tommy.
And they got too many of those teams anyway. They got the club, they got the Bar, they got the Revival. So there's too many ground and pound type tag teams on Raw. They need some different styles.
We had Asuka devastate.
Yeah.
Devastate Alicia Fox.
Yeah, I'll fast forward to that one.
Yeah. Then we had Joe in the Bar versus Dean, Jason Jordan, and Seth Rollins.
Yes.
It was okay. I mean, the Dean injury, and again,
that kind of put a damper on the whole idea.
Dean was injured to begin with.
That's what I'm saying.
Like, you could see it. Like, the whole match, he wasn't in the match very much to begin with. And then I had the feeling when I was watching the match, and even when he did get hurt, quote unquote, I think he really was in pain. Like, you could see it in his face. That was not acting. When they have the trainer come over and they quick cut away the camera, you know it's legit.
It kind of fit into his character. I want to fight through it.
Yeah.
And I bet he's just out there testing and see how much pain he could tolerate.
Yep.
To see how bad it really was. And then he was just like, no, I can't do it.
Then the Revival came back. And
I was asking for them.
Awesome.
I've been asking for them for a
month.
God,
they look good.
They were missed for sure.
They looked so good.
Granted, it was against Slater and Rhino, but
But it gave us a fun little segment. I was like, my favorite backstage segment may have been that one when they were in the back and they were like, "You need to toughen up," and then Rhino saying, "We're going to toughen you up." My question is, if we're okay. So on SmackDown, we had the Fashion Police, and that sort of run its course. We don't know if it's coming back. If on Raw for the next couple weeks, we get video montages of Rhino screwing with Heath Slater to toughen him up.
Is this going to hurt?
Oh, this is going to be awesome. Like, if it's like him, like making them chase chickens or doing workouts or like doing the weirdest stuff.
That would be a good segment.
The other thing I could see is, okay, this is where I would like to see, and this is where I hope that they can pull together. I would like to see Rhino reach out to, quote, quote, reach out to some of his old running mates. Like, bring in like a Sandman or a Tommy Dreamer or stuff like that to not be in matches with Slater, but have video package where they're toughening up Heath Slater with kendo sticks and beer and stuff like that. Like, have his old ECW guys come back and go, all right, you do to him what you did to me, and just run with that. You got to admit, that'd be funny as hell.
Yeah.
You know, bring some of these Raven and some of these guys that are still kind of floating out there for, pay them for a week to come in.
Yeah. That'd be a good idea.
And little video segments would be hysterical. And
they should do that.
Yeah, and then Heath going, "Oh, this hurts." It would be hysterical. I think it would be good. And I don't know if it would lead up to them breaking up or them just being a better team or whatever, but I think it'd be fun filler for a while.
They need to find out a way to use them. I mean, I'm tired of the same 3 tag teams every week. So anything they can do to get them on. And like Slater was over on SmackDown when he first came back. And then for whatever reason, they put him in a tag team and it killed all his momentum.
Yeah. He had a little bit back. For a short time, they had it back. They had it for a moment when they had the trailer videos.
They had the tag team titles for a minute.
And then they had the videos of him in the trailer and I Got Kids. And then it just sort of went away.
That. Yeah. Good way to lose your momentum.
Well, talking about losing momentum, you have a guy that is getting over with the crowd in Elias Sampson. Elias. And then you book him to come out and do his weekly concert was fine. and you put him with the women, and it's nothing against the women and him. That was a bad segment.
That was awkward.
That was so bad. Every time he tried to start, they would come out. That was just dumb.
It doesn't make sense.
And what was with Sasha's hair this week?
I don't know.
That was, I'm sorry, that's not a good look. Her being teased out like that.
Curly and
it wasn't even, it was crimped.
Yeah, it was just.
God, I shouldn't know that.
I woke up like this.
Yeah.
All right. You really shouldn't know that.
So in that, after that segment, we got the big announcement, the massive announcement. It's earth shattering.
We've been asking for it.
John Cena comes back next week on Raw.
Yeah.
Ah, you thought
that one.
I swerved you.
Yeah, that's Irish. He was waiting for that one.
I know. It's
Irish was excited. I could hear him screaming inside my house.
That's a hey, no one's gonna watch next week. Hey, it's Christmas Day.
Oh yeah.
You know no one's gonna watch this show, right? What can we do?
Oh,
we could bring back Cena. People will watch Cena.
What has he been doing anyway?
I have no idea.
A movie or something?
No, he hasn't been doing anything.
Just chilling with the Bellas.
Just chilling,
huh?
yeah, chilling with the Bellas. He's auditioning for Matt Lauer's job with the Today Show.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised.
I wouldn't be either. Trust me. No, actually, I think he's more
for what Matt Lauer's making.
Yeah,
he paid a lot of money. I should go for that.
Yeah. All right. So, but then we had the big announcement. Stephanie McMahon came out and announced that we are going to have the first ever women's Royal Rumble match.
It's
I'm excited.
About time. Like you say, it's hard to boo Stephanie when she comes out like that.
Yeah.
And she's like, empowering women and she's being nice and
it ruins her character.
Yeah, it's like Stephanie.
Totally ruins it.
Like you gotta make her. I mean, I can see why they made her do it and doing a yes chant and everything.
Oh yeah,
like
he goes,
that.
I've never heard a better thing for a yes chant.
But I'm excited. I already know how it's going to end, but
what do you think?
I know how it's going to end.
Asuka?
No. Ronda Rousey will win the Women's Royal Rumble.
Okay, that's one of the rumors. That's
she will go
match.
on to fight Asuka. God, my cup. God, podcast kitty.
One of the podcast kitties.
She'll go on to probably fight Asuka at Mania.
Well, okay, so I'm assuming, and especially after we had on SmackDown, I'm assuming that both Alexa and Charlotte, if they're the current champions going into the match, will not be in the match. Because Charlotte was the one that says, I'll be waiting for the winner at WrestleMania, which immediately means that Alexa's not in it anymore either, because clearly it's going to be whoever wins the Rumble, just like the main Rumble match. Whoever wins the Rumble, they get a shot at whatever title or whatever championship, is their brand.
That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking the Raw brand will win it. Or like I said, Ronda comes back.
Well, the rumor is Ronda, that may be her debut match.
I was about to say, what better time to debut either her or Angelina Love type.
Oh, they're gonna. I definitely think they're gonna have some women. Yeah, they're gonna be shockers because the Rumble. That's the Rumble's thing is you always bring in. That we had Ty Dillinger last year.
An oldie, an old school.
We were there for AJ.
A new debut, an old school.
Yeah,
like a trying to think who could.
I could see Alita.
Maybe.
A Trish, if she's willing to come back,
like that. Yeah.
I mean, there are definitely some women that I could see doing one last run.
Some NXT, Peyton Royce, Billie Kay. Maybe.
Oh, I definitely think there'll be. I won't be surprised if NXT doesn't do some kind of tie-in where they have either a match or a mini tournament to determine. Okay, these are all the girls. Whoever wins this, you get a spot in the women's Royal Rumble match.
I'm really looking forward to that, actually.
Yeah, I am too. Oh, no, I am too. I'm more excited about that than the men's Royal Rumble match because it's going to be different.
Yeah.
And after...
Because it's not an over-the-top rope. It's through the middle rope, I'm assuming.
No, I think they're going to go over the top.
No way.
Well, we'll see.
Alexa would never fit over the top rope.
And that's the other thing is you're going to have...
It's going to have to be between the ropes.
And we could have some really fun moments with things like, if it's set up, the Riot Squad versus Absolution.
Yeah.
Tamina versus Nia. Because you're going to have a lot of opportunities there to mix people together that are on separate brands that you kind of want to, ooh.
Charlotte and Alexa. They won't be in it.
They won't be in it. Or I mean, God, or Naomi and Oscar. I mean, just the combinations.
They're endless, yeah.
Are endless of people you could put in there to go, okay. My question is, they haven't announced how many yet. I'm assuming it's not going to be 30. I'm assuming 20.
Yeah.
That's just because they're going to, not because I don't think they don't have enough roster. I don't think they're going to want it to be the hour that the main Rumble is.
No.
I'm assuming
it'll be a quick 20 minute maybe.
Well, no,
15,
it'll be a
minutes.
half hour, because if they do 20, you're already talking about 18, 20 minutes just to get all the girls in there. So you're talking,
true, yeah.
so I figure if you do 20, you start with 2, every minute and a half you bring somebody in. So you're already about 15. 20 minutes ish right there.
So 30,
25, 30 would be perfect. Because the main Rumble now is about 45 minutes usually. So yeah, that would be absolutely perfect. And it's not that I don't think the girls can't go that long. I know they're not going to give them that long.
Sometimes the Rumbles go hours. It depends on.
Oh, it's gone in the past. Yeah, I know it has. But the better ones are usually about 45 minutes. But but Raw wasn't horrible.
I mean, it can't be bad coming off of that announcement.
No, it was great.
So that boosted it up. You know, just for that alone, it was. I wouldn't even say it's safe. I said it was solid this week.
Yeah, it was good. It was a show that I was expecting to be okay, and it was a lot better than I expected. You know, we had some fun moments. Like I said, the Heath Slater Rhino stuff in the back, the announcement of the Royal Rumble, you know, the Jason Jordan thing was interesting. I mean, there was some fun stuff in there. You know, we lost Dean for, you know, like I said, if you're talking 6 months, you're talking June, July. So if you're, okay, I look this way. If you're talking June or July to come back, you're talking SummerSlam.
Oh, definitely.
You're talking about a return on Raw in July for a match at SummerSlam.
Not that I'm patiently waiting, but when is Cass supposed to come back?
I don't know. He's got to be soon.
He's been gone for a while.
I could see him being one of the Rumble surprise people. I think he should be back soon, and that's another month away.
Yeah,
I could see him coming back at the Rumble.
I was just curious. I hadn't heard anything about him.
Because that's usually, and they've done that before, where they've had guys that were eligible to come back in January, and they hold them. And they wait for the Rumble to bring them back, because then it introduces them. Because then you set up whatever feud you want to set up. Because either they eliminate somebody or he's eliminated by somebody.
Yeah.
You know, so. All right. So before we go on to SmackDown Live, I want to once again thank Big Top Brewing for your Decklin's Indulgence. I really like this beer. Mine's gone.
Mine's gone.
I got 2 more in the fridge.
They'll be gone by the end of the week.
They'll be gone before the end of the week. All right, so on to SmackDown Live. So we started out exactly how I expected. We had Daniel Bryan come out, and then Shane comes out. And I liked the way they played it in that Shane did not hide what he did. It wasn't like Shane was trying to justify it. He says, "Motion got the best of me. When I held up my hand before the 3 count, I saw my father. I saw, you know, what KO and you know, and Sammy have done, and it bothered me."
Yeah.
And, you know, and I also like Daniel's insertion that he's not doing it for KO and Sammy. He's doing it to protect Shane
from himself.
And it's kind of it's preventing Daniel from taking a heel turn while still doing heely things. And then brought up the whole line when Daniel goes, "You sound like you're saying this is best for business, and that's what I fought against the first time."
Yes.
And I don't want you to become your dad.
Before from a McMahon.
Yeah. And I was like, oh,
yeah.
I kind of like this idea now.
I'm still trying to figure out which way they're going to go. I still say Shane is the one that's going to turn.
I think I agree with you now. That's what we're leading to.
Yeah.
He's going to become his dad.
Yeah. And that's the best way to go. And like I said, it's probably going to lead to something at Mania. I don't think Daniel's going to be clear to wrestle, but he'll have some type of surrogate wrestle for him against Shane or somebody of Shane's choosing, you know.
Yeah.
So I think that's where we're headed.
We're gonna end up with a power struggle for SmackDown. Yeah. It's gonna be that war for SmackDown. Yeah. It's, you know, it's who prevails, the McMahon or Daniel, and somebody's in charge. And you know, it was a good segment. I gotta admit, it was a really, really good segment.
It's kind of a slow build in the tension, which is good. And they can just keep people off balance and guessing. Like next week, you know, kind of tilt the balance towards possibly Daniel turning. Yeah. And kind of keep people guessing, you know what I mean?
Well, then we even later in the show, we got that moment with Shane or with Daniel when KO and Sammy brought him the champagne.
Yes.
And he's like, he goes, you guys need to slow down and you guys need to check your, like basically telling them, I'm not doing this for you. That was a great segment. Again, really powerful. And I like this. You can see the torture and the pain in everything Daniel's doing right now.
Yeah.
Because this is the pain we saw when he took on Triple H. Yep. And the story.
It's like I'm going through this all over again.
I'm going through this all again. He goes, I'm fighting for this company and what I believe in against everybody else. Yep. And no matter where I turn, everybody wants it for themselves, and I just want to do what's best for the fan.
Exactly.
And I love that angle of this.
That's what he's always been, though.
Yeah.
He's always been about that. The anti, corporate environment.
Yeah.
This is for the people, the fans.
Yeah. I love that.
And the talent. So, he's staying true to his character while, it seems like Shane is getting power hungry.
Oh, totally getting power hungry.
And that's where we're headed, it seems like.
All right. So then we had, I don't want to say an upset, but obviously setting up the new number one contenders for the tag team belts. Gable and Shelton picked up a win over the Usos in a hell of a match.
See that heel turn coming.
It was a hell of a match. That was the best match I've seen Gable and Shelton put on as a team.
Well, we knew it would take time for the chemistry to develop.
And they were
Shelton's finally, I mean, he hadn't wrestled in over a year. So like he's just now seeming to get his legs back.
Yeah.
Keep in mind he's 40.
But they look good together.
Yeah.
It's
taking time for it to click, but you got two amateur stud wrestlers, man.
Oh yeah.
Eventually, they're going to get their timing down.
Yeah, it was really good.
The title's going to be on them pretty soon.
Oh, I agree with you. I completely agree with you. Charlotte came out and gave an emotional, I thank the WWE Universe speech. It wasn't me. It was you guys that made this happen. It was you guys that all this. And I kind of like that. It was self-serving, not self-serving, but it was sort of like, getting the crowd behind her. She talked about the Rumble, and then Naomi comes out and enters for the first one to run Rumble, and then gives the chant of the week when the Riot Squad comes out and she calls them chicken heads. and this is where I love the WWE Universe. That was a throwaway line that I don't think Naomi was scheduled to say. She probably just threw it out there like, "Yo, a bunch of chicken heads," and never expected
That's Naomi talking.
And then all of a sudden, the entire Jersey arena starts chanting chicken head. The look on Charlotte Naomi's face of trying not to laugh and cry as the crowd is yelling, chicken head, chicken. I'm like, oh,
that's going to stick, don't you?
Oh, yeah.
Every week now they're going to get the chicken head chant.
Oh, God, yeah.
Oh, my God. That was so funny.
Oh, that was.
And that was Naomi just like being Naomi.
Oh.
You could just totally hear her. Like, that was probably in her head. And it just came out of her mouth.
Yeah.
Look at these chicken heads. And she probably just like, she's thinking out loud and it just came out.
My God. Chicken head will not let the Riot Squad die for a while. That will be a moment that will live. Like,
they got to the back, they were dying.
Oh, yeah. Because that's the problem is now whenever they do SmackDown, because they're in Chicago. So what's going to happen is the Chicago fans are going to go,
take it up another notch.
We can't let the Jersey people get away with this, so we're going to make it 1,000 times worse.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to do the CM Punk chicken head chant, and they're just going to crank it up, and then the next town, it just becomes insane.
Until it dies in Orlando.
So, all right. So then we had the lead into, we knew we had to have one comic match leading on a holiday show.
Yeah.
So
come on now.
So
really? We're going to talk about this, really?
Oh, no, because actually, this is right. I like this new Rusev. I love this new Rusev.
Apparently, people do too.
It is unique in a way that, how do I put it? It's sort of like watching the bully who just realized he doesn't have to be a bully, but he's just really strong and wants to have a good time, get in the ring.
I think a lot of the talent, they're adopting their own personality.
Oh, yeah.
And they're becoming just more amplified versions of themselves.
Yeah,
and it's so much easier to play that. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
You don't struggle. You don't have to think. You don't have to.
Oh, he looks totally comfortable.
And if you've seen him on Total Divas, which I hate to admit I've seen it a couple of times, he comes across as a nice, likable guy.
Yeah.
And it seems like he's like literally, I'm going to have fun. I'm going to be myself. I got the Rusev, but I got in the way. I'm not the Bulgarian Brute anymore.
No.
He's having fun. He's hawking T-shirts.
Oh, him and Aiden English are a great little team.
I don't understand the singing, but it is what it is. It's working.
But even the match later in the night, when they had the match with New Day and they had the whole, I'm not even getting into the costume stuff, but the crowd screaming Rusev Day. I don't mean chanting, literally screaming Rusev Day, and Rusev running around in his sleeveless Santa Claus jacket, smiling and pumping his arms to Rusev Day, was just like, you could see the joy in his face of realizing he is over in a way he's never been over before. And
it just happened overnight.
Yeah. It was pure.
Nobody saw this coming.
Pure.
And they were a throwaway tag team.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, we don't have anything for you. We'll put you together. Just like
Breezango.
No, not them. It was another team, the Bar. And we'll see if it sticks.
Yeah. And it's stuck.
Yeah. And it's gaining like momentum like crazy.
And they're sticking. And unlike Breezango, which I love.
Who's actually more popular.
Yeah.
But they won't give them a shot.
But I see potential in English and Rusev because of the fact that they have really good matches. Not saying Breezango does it, but they have really good matches. And you have the brutal aspect because Rusev can still be brutal in the ring.
Oh, yeah.
When he hits hard.
Yeah.
And Aiden's got some really nice moves.
It's the modern day version of Power and Glory.
Yeah.
Paul Roman, Hercules.
Yeah.
Hernandez.
I remember that. Yeah, the great team. Yeah. So, all right. So then we had Dolph Ziggler come out and give the weirdest celebration for winning a title ever. Really dug into the crowd. No one can do what I can do, and you're not worthy.
Same stick.
Now, this is where
takes a turn.
I enjoyed something they did, and I've been begging for it forever. They used the network. Every highlight was on pay-per-view, and the network logo was on the bottom. And I've said this for a while. Why are they not doing that more often? Why are they not pulling footage from the network to re-justify these statements? That was a great way to use it. You had a guy that was out there saying, I am underappreciated. No one respects me. I have been a champion. And he went out there and showed every one of his title wins in succession. So you saw every time he won. And it was...
a lot of people forgot.
Yeah, including him, how he won the Money in the Bank, how he won the titles. I mean, it was a great way of using the network. They had the logo for the pay-per-view. Yeah. So you can go to the network and watch the whole match. I don't know why they don't use that more often. It is weird why they don't do that more often. Because it's a great thing to do.
You have a national platform to promote your own product and you don't use it.
Because I'll tell you what, I'm kind of was watching some of those going, oh, I should go back and watch some of those. But that looked really interesting.
And I forgot. No, honest with you, I forgot about his couple of world title reigns.
Him versus Kofi looked like an interesting match because that was when Kofi was high flyer, boom, boom, boom.
Yep. And he had that title for a long time.
Yeah, and I'm like, so I'm like, I might go back and watch Capital Punishment.
That's when Capital
Punch in 2011.
Do you know who headlined that pay per view?
No.
John Cena against R-Truth.
Oh, I meant
for the WWE Championship.
Oh, I meant to watch that then. But I'm saying but it makes me want to go back.
R-Truth, think about that.
That's even sadder. But it makes me want to go out.
That was when Little Jimmy, though. That was the best gimmick he had.
I kind of want to watch that stuff. I will say this, though. There were sparks in his conversation where this is the character Bobby Roode should be playing. Not the you're not worthy, but the I know I'm better than you and you guys don't deserve me attitude.
He'll get back to that because the face is not thing is not working, but they have to establish somebody as a face other than AJ.
Yeah,
and Shinsuke's not going to get that promotion.
No, Bobby's
not able to talk.
Yeah,
as well, and Bobby's not getting the push. He's not getting the push though.
So
I think they're going to bring him along slowly. I didn't think they would.
They're going to
seeing where he came from.
Yeah,
but you got Randy's wanting to turn heel. He's
he might be.
He's kind of going through the motions.
There's a story out there that he might be gone. Not long term.
Taking some time off.
He might be through January. Then he might take like the time off. Like he might be gone for WrestleMania and everything. He may not come back to the summer. He may take like a couple months off.
Oh.
Which may not be the worst thing. Because maybe he needs something to rekindle him.
Yeah.
But then Dolph says, I'm going to give you what you deserve, lays the belt in the ring, and walks out. Now, he didn't advocate the belt.
Yeah.
So he's still technically champion. Now, this is where, again, if I'm writing this show, there's a huge missing piece here. Because the next shot after that should have been when they had Daniel on the phone saying that it was interesting. That should have been after the commercial break. And Daniel should have had the U.S. title sitting next to him saying, yeah, that was interesting. No, I don't know what's going on. I don't know what to do. Because now the belt,
or at least just not even talking, having a confused look on his face.
Yeah, well, he was on the phone with somebody. And I'm fine with that. But he can just be on with literally having the belt next to him, going, "No, I've got it." Being saying, "No, I've got it. It's with me. I've got it," and he's still champion. So saying, I don't know. I will figure this out as we go and set that up.
Yeah.
But again, we sort of
well, that's where a lot of times your TV restrictions come in.
Yeah,
because you write a show, you have to get everything in, and unfortunately, something's got to get cut.
Yeah,
or you can't necessarily always follow up on an idea.
Yeah,
because you're restricted by time.
But see, I'm saying that wouldn't have made a more coherent story. And you don't have to say what you're doing. You just kind of him going, I guess I've got it. It's
or even as you're going off the air or something, throw that in there.
Yeah, because my thing is if you're running the company, you're thinking, well, he just left the belt in the middle of the ring. Okay, who's got my belt? Who has this thing that we think is the second most valuable thing on this show? Who has this item?
That's true.
So you had nothing. It just disappeared. I mean, obviously it didn't disappear, but you know what I'm saying. So then our main event of the evening was sort of a throw together match. It's one of those classic. Now this is where
that's kind of how they book things.
But this is a match that I wouldn't expect on SmackDown itself. This is the match I expect them to advertise as the house show match after SmackDown. Jinder Mahal, KO and Sammy versus AJ, Orton, and Shinsuke.
Yeah.
And the match went nowhere.
Yeah, it was kind of
nowhere.
That was a week before Christmas match.
Yeah.
That's what I want to say.
Yeah.
It's just one, it didn't need a purpose. It didn't need a story.
Nope.
We'll just take our top 6 guys and we'll put you out there in the match.
So.
And we'll end the show like that.
But again, for SmackDown, wasn't a horrible show. It was entertaining.
Chicken Head said it all.
Yeah,
man.
I enjoyed it.
Line of the night.
Line of the week, maybe.
Yeah, true, yeah.
We'll see how it sticks. If next week in Chicago,
I gotta tweet her. That was hilarious.
When we get Chicken Head, oh my God! If we get Chicken Head for a couple weeks on Riot Squad, when Sarah Logan comes out and somebody goes Chicken Head, Chicken Head,
God,
that is just going to stick. I hope
that is hilarious.
All right, so I'd like to once again thank Big Top Brewing Company.
Yes, for
your Decklin's Indulgence, your peanut butter chocolate brown ale. I enjoyed that.
It was damn good.
Hell out of that.
Damn good.
That was damn good. When you're ready to put your beer down.
Beer, you're so dumb. You wanted to make Darren Young great again.
Oh, God. Where did he disappear to?
He gone.
Make sure you have it to vintagepressing.com, vintagepressing.com, where you can get drink coasters, luggage tags, phone cases, and more.
Follow us on the Untapped app. This wonderful beer. Try it, rate it. We'd love to see what you think. You can follow me at GoodOLJB.
You can follow Irish at The Irish O'Leary. And you can follow me as I try to hit 900 in the next, by the time this drops, I got a week. I got less than a week. This Big Top beer is $8.98. So I have 2 more to go.
Pretty sure you'll make that.
I have a very special Funky Buddha beer set aside for New Year's Eve night. I have a Chardonnay aged champagne beer.
Wow, interesting.
So I have a very special beer that will hopefully be 901 or 902.
Interesting.
Yeah, but
90210.
Yeah, my wife. I miss me and Mrs. Fluffy. I was talking to her instead of champagne. I said, "Well, let's open this thing up. It's been in the fridge for a little bit," and she agreed. So I'm excited.
Good stuff.
Yeah. You can always follow us on Facebook at Beers and Bodyslams Podcast. Tell us what you think. Tell us what you think is cutting into next year. You can also follow us on Twitter at Beers Bodyslams. Because KO tried to give our and away, and no one wanted it. And then he lost it like the U.S. title. Just laying somewhere in the ring.
Please go to iTunes if you get a chance. Rate us, review us. Good and bad, everything helps. The feedback will only help to improve the show. We also have a YouTube channel.
That's right. You can listen to all the shows on YouTube.
That's right. Check us out, Beers and Bodyslams podcast on YouTube. Subscribe and sign up for that.
That's right.
Big things happening in 2018. We're looking forward to a great new year being ushered in.
And thinking of that, on Monday's show, which will be the show that will drop Christmas Day, we're going to have some fun. Irish will not be here, but JB and I are going to. Last week was predictions for 2018 that we thought were bold, but we think can happen. Basically, we're going to give you what we think will happen, what we want to happen in 18, that we don't think would happen in any way possible. We're going to sort of give our pie in the sky, storylines and title changes and people we'd like to see come into the company and things that we think we'd love to see happen, but we never think will happen. But it'd be fun to discuss it and talk about it and have some fun with that.
Exactly.
So make sure you tune into that. As always, make sure you keep your pint glasses full and your body slam stiff.
We out.
Chicken heads.
You've been listening to the Beers and Body Slams podcast. Find us online at beersandbodyslams.com and on Facebook at facebook.com/Beers and Body Slams podcast. Until next time.
Have a nice day.